Good morning all. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. After all the good videos that have been coming out on the REIN Facebook page, I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents worth about something that came up the other day, something I learned about mortgages and deferrals during the pandemic, and I thought I'd share it. And figured I'd do a video rather than just some kind of a boring report, just to get the face out there and share the love a little bit. So I hope you're all feeling it on this kind of gloomy Friday in Calgary, actually. But this was a conversation that I had a couple of days ago with a lender that I use. Now, just to qualify, this gentleman was VP of the Calgary branch of a bank, a lender that I use for a couple of commercial multifamily properties that I own. Both of those mortgages are CMHC insured. Now, what I did not know about these mortgages is the bank doesn't hold them. They're actually held by a pool. They spin them off to a pool through CMHC. I'm not quite sure how that all works, but the bank doesn't hold those, and other lenders will, or other investors will buy those pools as an investment, and hence the low interest rates. So when they send those to that pool, the CDOs or CMOs or whatever you want to call them, the investors buy those based on a guarantee or an insurer that they will perform. And if they don't perform, you get kicked out of the pool. Now I can imagine what you know what that means, right? But what I was told was that if I wanted to have a deferral on those mortgages, I may not be paying, but the bank still has to pay to make that mortgage, to make that pool perform. The bank would still have to make my payments for me. And so, as you can imagine, they want to keep their liability down. They want to keep their cash flow up. What they gave me was a very, very lengthy list of things that I had to provide if they were going to give me that deferral. And it was all, it was because of CMHC that they needed these things. They needed a personal net worth statement. They needed bank statements. They needed operating statements. And above all, they needed a detailed rent roll of all the tenants, who's paying, who was not paying, who was on a payment plan, and what the terms of that payment plan were. And so I just wanted to share that with you because I did not know that about CMHC insured mortgages. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, this was a commercial mortgage. I'm not quite sure how residential mortgages that are CMHC insured will respond to these requests. But I do know that my partner Shanna applied for a deferral on her CMHC mortgage, and she was given 1 month, basically miss a payment. Anything beyond that, she was actually requested to provide very, very similar information to what I had to provide. Obviously not rent rolls and things like that, but she had to provide, a statement of loss of income, et cetera, personal net worth statement, statement of finances, those types of things. So secondly, the lender will be doing their own assessment as to whether your request is based on COVID-19 or based on the economic struggles and the oil crisis. Basically, I'm in Alberta, so the big problems that we're having with oil and our energy industry is just vaporized our economy. And the banks want to know, well, is your problem based on the pandemic and the lockdown and people losing, tenants losing their jobs, or is it based on you're just getting beat up because of the economy? So, draw your own conclusions as to those comments and form when you're going to your CMHC insured lender, form your pitch to them based on that. Third was another comment that he made about tenants that are on any kind of government assistance, of whatever that may happen to be. Their payments haven't changed. So if they're not paying their rent, the comment he made to me was the bank may actually go to the government and essentially report them for not paying their rent because their payments haven't changed, their financial situation really hasn't changed, so there's no reason that they can't pay their rent. So, as a landlord, you'll have nothing to do with that. However, you're probably still going to bear the brunt from the tenants when they, run afoul of those policies. And last but not least, as the dust settles, maybe other non-insured lenders might really start seeing the fallout. Loss of cash flow, loss of income on their side, a lot of deferrals, maybe getting into very shaky grounds. They may start pushing back in a similar fashion. They may start coming to you and saying, okay, we've given you a month's deferral, a couple months deferral or something. We would like some more evidence that these tenants have a justifiable reason for not paying. Now, do I know that this is going to happen? I have no idea. My crystal ball is just as hazy as everybody else's, but these deferrals that we got, a lot of these deferrals we got, well, most of them actually, almost all of them, were essentially either an email application or a telephone application. They don't have a contract that says that they have to continue with these deferrals. And, there's the possibility out there. Again, I have no idea, but there's the possibility out there that they may start coming back to us, once the virtue signaling is all over, in a month and a half or a couple of months. They might start coming back and saying, we want some evidence, or we want you to start paying on your mortgages again. So again, my crystal ball is as hazy as anybody else's right now. These are crazy times. I've never seen anything like this in all my years. So I'm just kind of throwing it out there to allow you to just think about these things a little bit and wonder what happens. Do you have reserves? Are you putting all those funds into reserves so that the funds from the deferrals, are you putting that all into reserves so that if you have a financial requirement that needs to be filled coming forward, are you able to make those things? So anyways, those are my thoughts. Anybody who has similar or conflicting information, please feel free to opine and let's have a little chat. And in the meantime, have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home. Talk to you later.